The wind howled, and the sea churned as if possessed by ancient spirits. The lighthouse stood tall, its granite walls weathered by centuries of storms. William, a young man seeking solitude and redemption, arrived on the rocky island to take up the post of lighthouse keeper. His predecessor had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only cryptic notes and a sense of impending doom. Thomas Wake, the grizzled veteran who had spent years tending the beacon, greeted William with a toothless grin. His eyes held secrets, dark, unfathomable secrets that seemed to whisper through the salt-laden air. Thomas was a man of routines, and he immediately set William to work, scrubbing the algae-covered stairs, hauling kerosene, and painting the lighthouse's exterior. The nights were the worst. As the storm raged outside, William climbed the narrow spiral staircase to the lantern room. There, the light spun like a madman's eye, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Thomas would disrobe, revealing a scarred body, and dance naked before the flame. His laughter echoed through the chamber, a haunting melody that seeped into William's bones. The Mermaid's Song. One evening, while rummaging through a dusty drawer, William discovered a scrimshaw, a delicate carving of a mermaid. Its eyes seemed to follow him, and he felt a strange kinship with the mythical creature. He slipped it into his pocket, unaware of the curse it carried. The mermaid whispered to him in fevered dreams. She sang of shipwrecks, lost souls, and forbidden desires. William's mind unraveled, and he began to see things, shapes in the mist, shadows lurking in the corners. The sea outside roared louder, as if mocking his sanity. The unlucky seabird. Thomas warned him about the seabirds. "Never harm them," he said, his voice gravelly. "They carry the souls of dead sailors." But William was desperate. Hunger gnawed at his insides, and the storm had cut off their supplies. One day, he snapped. He grabbed a seabird and wrung its neck, blood staining his hands. That night, the tempest intensified. Waves crashed against the lighthouse, and the lantern spun faster, casting grotesque shapes on the walls. William heard the seabird's mournful cry, louder than the wind. It echoed in his mind, accusing him of sacrilege. The Descent. As days blurred into weeks, William's mind fractured. He saw Thomas transform, a creature of seaweed and barnacles, his eyes glowing like phosphorescent jellyfish. The lighthouse became a prison, its walls closing in. The mermaid's song grew louder, urging him to join her in the depths. One stormy night, William climbed to the top. The lantern room spun wildly, and he tore off his clothes, just like Thomas. The mermaid's voice filled his head, promising release. He stepped onto the narrow ledge, the wind threatening to sweep him away. The sea beckoned, its black maw hungry for his soul. And there, on the precipice between madness and oblivion, William understood. The lighthouse was no ordinary beacon, it was a gateway. A portal to realms beyond, where ancient gods and forgotten nightmares waited. He spread his arms, ready to leap, when Thomas's hand grabbed his ankle. "Never look into the light," Thomas rasped. "It reveals truths you're not meant to know." But William was beyond reason. He kicked free, plummeting into the abyss. The mermaid's song enveloped him, and the sea swallowed him whole. Epilogue. Thomas Wake remained in the lighthouse, tending the flame. He knew the cycle would repeat, the next wiki would arrive, hungry and haunted. And the mermaid would sing, weaving her web of madness. As for William, his soul danced with the currents, forever lost between worlds. And the lighthouse stood, its light piercing the darkness, a beacon for lost ships and wandering souls.